We are now hearing of a possible nuclear attack, and this has the United States and Israel extremely concerned about what is coming. Now, this possible attack is coming from Iran. We are hearing that they are potentially going to change their nuclear doctrine. We've heard that they are going to respond to the attack that Israel put on them just last night. Now, I want to break down what's going on, explain to you what we are hearing, what Pentagon officials are hearing and are actually saying at this time, and what the Biden administration plans on doing about this. Just a little heads up, it might be nothing. But I will break that down in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So let's first address what Israel did just last night. Israel decided to respond and retaliate to Iran's attack, and what Israel did was very minimal, or what some say was limited. Let's look at this. It says Israel hits Iran with limited strikes despite White House's reported opposition. Now, this is what the Biden administration, according to reports, is doing. The Biden administration wants to push this back as far as possible. The Biden administration wants to stay as far away from a potential conflict between Iran and Israel. However, we are still at this time considering giving Israel billions and billions of dollars, which Iran says that we are part of this war. And Hezbollah has their eyes on us. And I've talked about this before. We've heard from multiple officials where they say that Hezbollah has sleeper cells here in the United States. So the fact that Iran is now threatening anything nuclear should be very troubling to all of us here in the US, in Israel, and honestly, around the entire world. But I want to show you this. It says Iran warns it may revise its nuclear doctrine and threatens to hit Israeli nuclear sites. Now, here's the problem. If somebody goes and hits a nuclear site of another country, and this is what experts are telling us at this time, is we face a massive war. Here's the reason why. If one country goes after, let's say Iran goes after the Israeli nuclear sites, the problem is if they are successful and they eliminate those sites, they eliminate the nuclear weapons that Israel has, the problem is that Israel would now feel threatened and they would try to go after Iran's nuclear weapons as well. Those nuclear sites, which they kind of did just last night when they went after Isfahan. And so that's one of the issues. Now, I want to read a little bit of this, okay? It says right here, Iran could review its nuclear doctrine following Israeli threats to strike the country. Keep in mind, this article was written a day before the strike, okay? It says a senior Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commander said. It says Tehran has always insisted its nuclear program was strictly for peaceful purpose, a claim Israel and much of the Western world dismiss. Now, it says right here, the threats of the Zionist regime against Iran's nuclear facilities makes it possible to revise our nuclear doctrine and deviate from our previous considerations. That is the troubling thing, is if they decide to change, okay? But I want to show you this as well, because here's what happened. Iran is threatening to target Israeli nuke facilities. And they say the Middle East is on the precipice of a bigger war. That is something that we are well aware of. The Middle East could be in a regional war very soon. But what we cannot have is we cannot have Iran, Israel, the United States, Syria, Iraq. We can't have all those countries involved in a war. That would bring out a world war. I'll be very clear on this. This is one of the reasons why Iran threatening nuclear action could potentially pull the United States in to a possible World War III. Now, again, I said this just a minute ago, just want to repeat this. Isfahan is an apparent site, okay? This is based off what we knew or learned earlier on today, was an apparent site of an Israeli strike, but it's also the home of an Iranian nuclear facility. You can see the picture right here, okay? If that was part of the strike, and again, I brought this up earlier today, I want to mention it again, what we were hearing earlier is that Iran attacked Israel last night, and in their last night, but in their attack, okay, Iran attacked Israel last Saturday. Israel responded to Iran last night, but in the Saturday attack, what Iran did is they launched over 300 drones and missiles. The only missiles that got through the Iron Dome were ballistic missiles. Those ballistic missiles are also, according to experts, the only missiles that Iran would attach a nuclear warhead to. And those are the weapons that actually got through the Israeli Iron Dome. So that right there has world leaders extremely concerned about what's coming. Here's the last thing I want to leave you with. The United States is in the middle of multiple crises. We have an issue with our U.S. southern border. We have a major election coming up very soon. Former President Donald Trump is in the courtroom. We got people right outside the courtroom lighting themselves on fire. We have issues over in Israel. We have issues in Ukraine. We are now hearing reports that there are now 3 GOP members that are in support of removing Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House. If we remove the Speaker of the House right now, this would leave us with a huge hole and a massive problem that we would have to fill before we do anything. If we remove the Speaker of the House right now, when the Middle East is on the precipice of a larger war, potentially World War III, that could be devastating for us here in the U.S. All right? So, I just want to leave you with that. The last thing I just want to tell you is, right now, everybody has their eyes on the Middle East. Everybody does. Here's the problem. If everybody's looking at the Middle East, the concern is, what are we not seeing here? Where are we missing here on U.S. soil? Are people coming across the border? Are they burrowing in certain cities? Are they adding to their sleeper cells? Are we seeing potential disruptions and possible attacks happening here in large cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Boston, Miami, Seattle, Portland, Denver? Are we seeing this? Well, that's the concern. That experts believe we have the highest threat levels right now in the United States. The FBI warned us about this a couple months ago, that they have never seen the threat level, the risk, so high at the exact same time. That's one of the reasons why everybody's saying that if you see something, say something, because right now the risks are so high that there is a chance we see a possible attack very soon. So, just want to leave you with that. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.